Hello YouTube, welcome to my first video. In this episode, I will fix the oil drain plug on this 2017 Sportster 1200T Super Low. The oil drain plug stripped after the first service on the bike. The first time, I used the torque specs, but it did not get anywhere near the 14 pounds that it asked for. And I did follow the Harley service manual, and everything was pretty descriptive, and I followed it to the letter, but again, it stripped way before that. I'll show you the reasons why. I did use automotive Teflon tape on the threads and it held the first time, but when I did the second service interval, it leaked. So this is what I did. Follow along, enjoy, and of course, like and comment down below. Thank you. So to get started, we basically are going to drain the primary case on the bike, which is right there. We're going to need a couple of, citral gloves. I went ahead and just made a makeshift dump container out of a bottle of water just to make it easy, just to dump the oil on there. You need a 5/8 inch wrench. Right here, it could be open-ended, or you can use a socket, your choice. You can also have on hand primary oil fluid. You can use the same oil that you use for the engine, which in this case I'm using AMSOIL VTEC Motorcycle 2050, which is what is recommended. You can also utilize things like Mobile One, which I've used in the past. Just make sure that it says V Twin, and that it's proper approved oil for the primary case. So now that we have the container underneath the bike, as you can see, I'm basically looking on the left hand side of the bike, and I'm just placing the camera here so you guys can see while I'm draining the oil. So I have the little container, my makeshift container that I made, and if you can see, the actual plug is actually leaking, and I'll show you the reason why he's leaking and why you need to replace it in case your bolt looks like mine. So we're gonna go and loosen this guy up, move this out of the way a little bit. 5/8 inch wrench, and it's very loose. I use the torque specs that Harley said to use, which is 14 foot-pounds, and there's no way in the world that this thing will hold with 14 foot-pounds, and it's very loose. So it's coming out, and it's up to you if you want to warm up the bike. In this case, it's the primary, so I didn't see the need to go ahead and warm up the bike by running it prior. There's about 5 miles on the soil after I discovered what was going on. So you can see the oil is very, very clean. And I'm going to show you exactly why this thing is stripped. I'm just going to let that guy drain for now. Make sure you have a couple of rags. Comes in helpful to do this. So while that's draining, I'm going to show you what's going on with this bolt. Hang on. And just to show you guys, I did use Teflon tape. I don't know if you can see it very well, but I did use Teflon tape on the actual bolt, and it didn't help. So I'm going to go ahead and get something from the auto parts store, and hopefully it'll be able to fix the problem. The issue basically is that if you notice here, try placing it on the camera. If you notice in this area right here, basically where it hits, there's no more threads at the bottom of this. So when it hits, the threads are way up here, while the actual metal casing is more or less where the rubber seal is located. But the threads should go all the way down to the bottom. It'll make it for a much better seal. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to find the bolt that'll fix this. Per the Harley manual, and I looked it up online, they specify that this is a 1/2 inch 18 thread per inch bolt. So I'm gonna try to find the match. If not, I'll find something that's self tapping, maybe a little bit larger. But let me see what I find at the auto parts. So I'll be right back and show you what I found. Okay, everyone. So the next step is what I've done is that I managed to stand up the bike. I don't have a really good jack to stand it up with, so I just kind of gently placed it up against my wall next to a joist. and put the bike in gear so he's not going to move. So basically, I'm going to go ahead and grab the bolt and attempt to install it, and hopefully this will plug up my stripped bolt on the Harley. So here we go again. We're working on the primary on the bike, and this is the filler, the actual drain plug. So I'm use the bolt, screw it in. And this is a self-tapping bolt, you guys. So it's a lot easier with two hands. Hang on a second. There you go. It's got a grab. This is going to be making the threads. Let me get it started, and I'll be right back. You can watch from the bottom. So once again, I'm removing the adjuster window for the primary, and this is not on very tight. So moving that for now. Make sure that the little rubber seals are on your bolts. Very important, though, you don't get any additional leaks on the top portion of the primary. This one actually got stuck at the very top, so I'm going to go ahead and place it down the bottom. There you go. So make sure you put those two aside. This little guy just pops out. To get the gasket out, what I typically do is I just punch it here a little bit with my fingers, and it should come right out. And there it is. And bring my oil, sort of funnel. Of course, it has to fall. And I know I'm gonna make a mess, so don't laugh while you see me do this. Now, per Harley specifications, they want you to do the primary oil change every 10,000 miles. We babied this bike, and we swapped it at 1,000 miles after we rode it. And then after we hit the 1,000-mile mark, the primary oil was swapped out. We tightened the bolt, which 14 pounds was not what we tightened it at. We maybe hit 10 pounds, if that. And we noticed that it started to strip. So I went ahead and used some Teflon tape for automotive services, and we managed to get the bolt on there just tight enough so that it wouldn't leak. But now that I did the second change on the primary, which the bike has about 6,500 miles on the clock, and I just want to make sure that I keep everything running well. I do oil changes on this bike every 2,000 miles, so or every 6 months, whichever occurs first. And that's basically what we do. I did check the tension on the primary when I swapped out the oil, and it's set to spec to the Harley specs, so everything is well. So chain has a 1/2 inch of slack on it, so everything looks good from that perspective. So we're gonna seal this puppy up again. So do the seal, do the cover, then do the 2 bolts. And what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna go ahead and take off the derby cover, and I hate doing that because those bolts are very finicky. They strip real easy, but I have to do that in order to check the proper oil level on the bike, because it takes about 1 quart. That's exactly what I put in it. but I just want to make sure that it's right at to the bottom of the clutch at the level where it should be. And this, you just lightly kiss it. It should be good enough. That's tight enough. Setup is done. My apologies, the bike is very dirty. Went out on the rain and didn't get a chance to wash it. But this baby will get a proper wash tomorrow. Today is kind of rainy, so I couldn't take the bike out, but definitely going to do this part of it to make sure everything is good. So I'll go ahead and remove the derby cover next. I'll show you guys that, and I'll show you the oil level where it is. And if it isn't, we'll add some more oil. So I'll be right back. So now to remove the derby cover, I've pre-loosened all the bolts here. So I'm just taking them out one by one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and of course number 6. Don't forget that there's a spring behind the derby cover, so that's the reason why I'm holding it with my other hand. Once this bolt comes out, it's going to pop out and it's going to show you a spring that's right there. So make sure your seal is good here, your gasket, you shouldn't have any leaks. And now my next trick, I'm going to get my flashlight and bring the bike up a little bit. And it's where it should be. It's barely touching the clutch, the bottom of the clutch plate, where it's picking up some of that oil. But to be on the safe side, I'm at just a little bit. But safe than sorry. I don't like to do anything run. And once again, you don't want to overfill it either, so you have to be careful about that. So just use what they prescribe. Typically, it just takes 1 quart, but because I emptied it out and the container kept a little bit of oil inside of it, so I lost that. So I'm just going to make up for it just by adding a little bit of this. And it was about 1 fluid ounce is what was left on here. So it shouldn't have 1 fluid ounce, shouldn't hurt it at all. Again, I'd rather have a lubricated chain than have one run dry. So oil level there. So let me see where it is now. Oh yeah, much happier now. It's gonna be difficult to show you guys. Let me see if I can. Good thing this is a magnetic light. It's gonna look like that. Come on, baby. Stay there. Hang on. So basically, if you can see the level, you can barely see it where the level is down below. And once you see that level, then that's where you see where the oil should be. So that one is good. And we're gonna go ahead and seal this up. So now I'm gonna go ahead and reinstall the derby cover. And remember that there's a cutout for the derby cover, and that's to reflect that it's gonna go right where the clutch mechanism comes in. So that has to match that. So that's your orientation. The spring is still there. My clutch adjustment is good because I adjusted it last time. And again, this is my very first YouTube video, so forgive me if it wasn't done well, but I just wanted to try. A bunch of my friends told me, hey man, you do a lot of maintenance on your bike, so why don't you go ahead and just start a channel. And I saw a lot of YouTubers out there that said, man, just get started. So I'm gonna give it a try to see how well the channel does. Again, I'm looking just to teach people some of the things that I do. Uh, I'm not a professional mechanic in any way, but I've been around motorcycles for a very long time. I've been riding for about 40 years in my motorcycling career. I've owned 14 motorcycles throughout my career. A lot of them have been sport bikes, Ninjas. I've had a KC 750 and a CSR 305, which were my traditional bikes where I started with. And from there on, I moved on to a Honda Hurricane. And I'll post some pictures so you guys can see some of the bikes that I had in the past. I had a Honda Hurricane, had a couple of Ninja 750s, had a Ninja CX6, also had a Ninja, not a Ninja, but a it was called the Eddie Lawson Naked Bike, which is basically a ZRX 1200. I'll post a picture of that so you guys, can visualize what I've done. I'll do that at the end of the video. I don't want to bore you guys with all that stuff. But if you're interested, watch till the end of the video. I understand that if you watch till the end, you get better stats through YouTube. So, and again, you do this in a start configuration. You just kiss them. They don't need to be too tight. And again, the specs on these are like 100 inch-pounds, and all the torque wrenches that I've worked with, they don't do good accurate measurements when it's something that delicate. So as long as I just touch it and I kiss it and then I check to see if it's leaking or not, then I can tell what's going on. So everything nice and tight. If I lean the bike over to this side, I don't see any leaks so far. So I'm gonna go ahead and fire up the bike. So I'm gonna take a break and then I'll be right back. And then I'm gonna show you guys what I found on the bike to see if it still leaks or if it's running well. I'm gonna go out for a couple of mile ride here around my neighborhood just to get it warm enough to make sure that no oil is leaking from the bike. So I will be back. Well, everyone, thank you very much for sticking with me. The install of the bolt to replace the strip bolt for the primary on this 2017 Sportster 1200 went extremely well. I didn't have any problems. Thing is that at first when you install the bolt, it's a little hard because it begins to do the thread. It was a self-tapping bolt. If you're having the same issue, I'll post the part number. Then I got it from O'Reilly's Auto Parts, but I'm sure you can get it at a Napa, AutoZone, or an Advanced Auto Parts. Just wherever you can get your auto parts. Again, I rode the bike, no leaks, everything went extremely well. I also done a lot of, thanks to the bike, I did a couple of custom things like added, of course, the LED light at the front. I did some auxiliary lights down at the bottom, and they're not hardwired per se. What I did is that I cheated a little bit. So what I mean, whoa, what I mean by that is that I use the actually battery tender to connect the lights. So whenever I want some lights, I just connect them when the bike's not on a battery tender. And I don't use the battery tender for this bike anymore because the battery went out, and I replaced it with a lithium-ion battery. And man, what a difference! It works extremely well. So I also did some custom dynamic lights on this bike that make the top box look like that. And of course, the lights pulsate when you hit the brakes, as you can see. So it also gives you the turn signal. So I believe that lights basically bring you a lot of safety to you and your bike. So it's good to spend some money on some lights. Believe it or not, those lights, won't believe it, I bought them from Walmart. The only thing that I bought was the Custom Dynamics modulator for the lights, and that can be acquired from Custom Dynamics. I'll post the part number on the video. This is my 2-hour ride bike, no more than 200 miles away from the house. I live in Texas, here in Houston. And when I really want to go way, way out and explore the world, that's my long distance tour. I take this to cross country to California, Nevada, Colorado, the East Coast. It's a 2022 Pan America, and that's my long distance ride. Reason is because the suspension is way more comfortable. It's got lots of different modes: rain mode, sport mode, off-road mode. So the suspension, this is the the Harley Davidson, I forget what they call them, the classic or the deluxe, whatever. And it has the auto adjusting suspension. So this dude drops when you turn them on. This is if he'll do it. No, he didn't do it because he doesn't have any weight on it right now. But the suspension does drop. Another thing that I installed was the seat. The bike drops to about a 32-inch inseam, and I have it at the lowest position. And I got that seat from Pansoma Racing, I believe it's called. So a company out of China. It was only, I think it was $100 or something like that. But that seat makes it a lot easier to reach the ground. I'm 5'8", have a 30-inch inseam, but that seat made a world of difference. Thank you for sticking with me on my very first video. If it wasn't very professionally done, please forgive me. I'll try to brush up and make it better. I don't have really fancy camera equipment. I'm filming everything with my iPhone and a wireless microphone. So I'm making the best I can. I'll post the video later as soon as I get everything done. Please like, subscribe. I'll try to post more how-to videos. I'm not a professional mechanic or an electrician or anything like that, but I am an IT professional, so I've been working in the IT field for a very long time. So anyway, thanks you for watching. Look forward to posting another video. Hopefully I get some members, some views, and hope you like what you see. If you have any suggestions, comments, please comment down below. I'll try to answer as many as I can. Thank you, and ride safe.